Camera rolling.
Sound rolling.
Take two.
Action.
Action. Action.
Action.
Rolling.
Loud. Sound rolling.
Rolling.
Action. We went to his family back home. 3 books.
So Anto was in here as well.
Seven.
Just come on.
Yeah, enjoy yourself. How are you doing? You know. And I even have a script here. Don't worry about it.
Coming into the classroom in exactly the same order you came in the door downstairs. So let's just.
I'm afraid, like business calls and all that, and I go, okay, well, all right, what is it that you're doing for us today now?
So,
So he's going to jump out.
No, I
saw here.
You're not going to
So we just want to see you totally stressed.
My name is Rebecca and I live in the North Inner City in Dublin, and I've lived here for 21 years.
My name is Rafael Richard. I'm Brazilian. I came to Ireland 5 years ago to change my life, to go out of the box, to live the life proper.
There was a small flyer in the newsletter from my daughter's school, looking for people to take part in a film, and I sent an email and my name is Ruth and I am from Dublin, born and raised in the Liberties, still living in the Liberties. I am a teacher, or have been a teacher most of my life.
My name is Annie Chow, and I have been in Ireland since 2005. I live in Carrickmines and have kind of been in a corporate bubble for the past 18 to 19 years or so.
Are we speaking
So your lines, do we go?
I think they should be stopped. Well, you could just go out here or something or whatever.
If you do that, we do that, come in.
Just do that.
I don't know whichever you prefer.
Which is more impact. Silence, just come in, or should they say something?
Idea of a transcultural community. I love being with people of other cultures, learning about their cultures, sharing mine with them. You know, it's a lifelong journey of learning, I think.
800 years of occupation. It ends now.
his short films initially. And again, it was just a great experience meeting people from all different backgrounds, walks of life, from cultures I knew nothing about, and just starting to get to know one another and just having fun, really, making the films. And we did that first of all.
Clean up the mind. The ideas behind the acts was held up everything. But it didn't dampen us ribs and it gave us an opportunity to get to know one another better. Even though the idea behind the film is serious, we need to be nicer to each other because we are all both brothers and sisters. Our project has named Shelter Hearts as two characters who don't have much to offer help and shelter a lost child. The message that it spreads is just accepting other people's differences, and we think that's a really nice message.
I had fun writing the music for the film.
Yeah, we hear the film of the creators. Well, that's just it. Yeah.
And then behind the others are real people.
They're real people, and nobody's talking about that. Really.
So the short films, we did those. They were interesting. We still didn't really know each other very well, and of course, as the project, in the nature of things, moved on, we lost people along the way. They moved away, they didn't have time, various things happened. Those of us still here now, still left standing, I suppose, are the ones that were the most committed and the most invested and interested in the project.
Hi, so my name is Kathy White, and I've been involved with the acting, with the facilitation, with the participative arts piece, as a recently graduated socially engaged practitioner.
I've been conditioned, and I learned just how conditioned I have been to kind of that workplace and, in the home. And I never really paid attention to like the arts, the communities, around me too much, because I'm working in global markets and I have global stakeholders, and it's just a very different world to have an opportunity to express anything in terms of performance arts or arts of any kind, and to meet people who are conditioned in different ways has also helped me to become, I feel, a more broadened person. And
That's up to you, how you want to do it, but, that's kind of more what
Which one looks better? Just like an awful lot or a little bit like...
Yeah, a little bit like that.
I am Jijo. I come from Botanic Gardens.
Sometimes I used to think like I let my culture, I let my history, and I don't wanna substituir isso. Eu não quero substituir essa cultura, mas foi importante aprender. Foi importante eu deixar, porque eu aprendi que o processo de aprender é esquecer. Quando você esquece alguma coisa e você aprende outra, mas você não esqueceu aquilo, ela só tá guardadinho.
Do like
Okay.
Here.
I'm going to do the red. Maybe the red for the blood here.
Что дал тебе этот проект, Луиза?
Ну, в основном я попробовала себя в съемках, мне понравилось. Я смогла получить свои навыки актерского мастерства, научилась, так сказать, общаться с людьми. И, да, сейчас это этот проект.
На этом проекте я познакомилась с большим количеством людей из разных стран, разной культуры и разные вероисповедания. Также этот проект открыл во мне актерское мастерство, о котором я даже не думала, что оно у меня есть, и развила мои творческие способности. Также научила меня коммуникации с людьми. Очень много времени мы общались через Zoom. Для себя открыла Zoom-митинги.
From my perspective, I'm Fiona, this is Lily. So I'm from Cork. I grew up in Cork, I went to college in Cork, and when I finished college I moved to Dublin, and I met Raphael through some friends at a party, And it was very interesting because, you know, having grown up in an Irish family with, you know, everyone more or less Irish, it kind of opened a whole new world.
I don't see filmmaking as a job, and I don't see art as a job. I see it as, it's my way of life. It's something that I necessarily need to do.
No. So, coming back to the question, are we starting by them or them? You go back again here.
Oh, the shade already started? Yeah,
Yes.
Because it's better to start here because they have less to do.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we can do both.
Yeah.
We can do
We're going
both.
to do both anyway.
No rules, no jobs. Go home. Yeah? Yeah.
Yeah. Kathy, you doing this? No rules.
You're really not quite sure what is the ask. You don't really know whenever you sign up, what am I agreeing to here, and how much do I want to become involved, and how much do I feel I'm going to be able to manage time-wise.
I was working on the script writing, but I just found that the whole process of the way the script writing was happening really didn't suit me or didn't work for me. The collaborative element of it, while I love the idea of it, in practice for me, I found it problematic.
We were involved in the script writing group, a small group of us to start with. We met twice a week on Zoom. It was challenging enough. It was a bit like Chinese whispers. Make it, you know, put an idea, you do an idea, you do an idea. We'd have a list of ideas. They could just be words, key phrases. Nobody really had a clue. We had no brief. So how were we going to come up with anything? Were we coming up with a feature-length film? Were we coming up with 6 short films? There was disagreement about that even from the start. So it was difficult, and as the meetings ground on, and ground is a word I'm using intentionally there, things got much more difficult actually.
A little bit, yeah. But in this one, I think you have to be quite angry as well. And yeah,
No. This is it.
More, not nice grace today. Yes. That's it, so I can get this on. That's it. So that would be it. Yeah, so it would be like a little clip from you going, oh my God, just go away from me. Yeah, something like that. Let's see. If you're in my camera this way, that'd be me.
So for me, I want everything to be together. We're starting on our left? We're starting on our left? Out. Look at them.
And then you're going to cheer.
There was a lot of protests going on in our area outside the direct provision centre that I was active in.
Меня зовут Эльвира. Мы из Украины. В Ирландии уже 2 года. Это моя дочь, ее зовут Луиза, и ей сегодня 15 лет исполнилось. С днем рождения, Луиза.
Спасибо.
A lot of those emotions were informing what I was writing about, and they weren't always well received by others, what I was writing.
Probably one of the best communities that working on a project I've been involved in, because it's everyone's open, everyone's accepting of each other, there's no judgment between people, they're honest, open, willing to explore ideas, willing to help each other.
In the arts, it's people thrive in chaos, and it is something that makes me so uncomfortable, but having, learning to embrace that chaos and embrace the unknown, the ambiguous, and all of the things that are unplanned, unmapped, uncharted, those are all really valuable lessons that I don't think I would have gotten, had I not done this project.
And also, what about that very heart? What about the heart of it? When you find yourself at the heart of it, when you find yourself in a collaborative process and you are begging for somebody to collaborate with you, but there's nobody on the other end of the WhatsApp, there's nobody on the other end of the phone, there's just, it feels like there's kind of nobody there. And that is hard whenever you are working on a digital format. And when also the person who asked you to be part of it or invited you in then melts. And you're kind of in the middle of the space without any floor.
If you take out reconciliation, so
So do you feel like you've got more of a conversation to have? If you can get more of a conversation to have, I would stand together with you. I don't know, where you're welcome to go, to walk out together.
Thank you for giving me this opportunity. I love that. For instance, we can highlight something to prove that in my brain I'm not going to Steve Jobs. Like in my brain I'm not going to Steve Jobs. Yes, I'm going to contributing here. Things like that. Yeah. And if you have time to have something about the house, it's
You prefer to put these words in here, in the sun?
No.
Because
you asked about conversation, I'm not sure about conversation. Box, talking words. Someone might say here, we got this space. There was no houses. Someone might say, it's not even built. Give us a land. We have it. Just give us the land and tell us build your own island. And we will see all the construction in the land community. You think? Yeah. Send the conversation. Okay. Job and house prices.
Sarah had a suggestion about referring back to the poem and saying all the sort of.
Yes. There's the end of the discussion. On the fence, do you not know which way you go? And these things will, and also, as an actor, this is nice. How much time?
Do you have this right?
Yeah.
No, Martin and Martin's wife.
Inner city.
Inner city. I would suggest, that you should read this walk around.
I start to understand more and look for more answers.
So we just started to open into that idea of whether it's Fairly Speaks, whether it's these amazing words you came up with this morning, yourself, and Elvira, I have no doubt. Portia, what you just said.
And at times I think it was difficult for some of myself and Alan. Alan isn't here now, you met him yesterday, because we were white Irish people trying to write about other people's experiences, and that's a huge responsibility, and we're not always getting that right even, you know what I mean? So, but yeah.
Unless you want to put Mary from Thomas Street there, I don't mind.
Mary from where?
I said Mary from Thomas Street, it's around the corner.
Okay.
What really drew me about the community is, I think, having the space to be yourself. Because sometimes what I find in my culture personally, you have to fit in very easily. You don't get that space sometimes.
My name's Jacob. I've lived in Dublin for most of my life.
And like others have also said, we have maybe unexpectedly made some really, really nice friendships, very important friendships.
I enjoyed the film, and something I was surprised by was I didn't think I'd make many friends in film, but I know I have made quite a few friends, and I've met some of them outside of the film, and I've played with them online and stuff like that.
And I suppose one of the big things for me that's come from this whole project and process and community is just friendship really has been the biggest thing for me. I didn't know going into it, as I said, what to really expect. I didn't know that it would become such an important thing in my life, in our lives. Later in 2023, in the middle of the whole process, when we were trying to kind of get the script and everything else together, I was diagnosed with breast cancer, and that was one of the things that really has stood out for me in this whole process, was just the level of support and care and kindness. And just, I remember actually the community bought me a beautiful Avoca blanket, and it just literally felt like I was just being wrapped in this love really from the community, and it's something I'll never forget, just in terms of an unexpected level of family, a new community to be part of.
Yeah. So my name is Alan, I'm from Kilkenny. I was born there, but I'm now living here in Dublin. People were there who never seen pole dancing before. They'd never seen like a man do pole dancing, a man in heels, you know. I just wanted to be a part of this as well, because I was just like, you know, I want to show them and show others that like, don't be afraid, you know. Like, you know, I'm a gay man doing pole dancing. Like, people are afraid to like say that or do that, and like do it in public, as I did outside the Hugh Lane Gallery there.
And as this film was being made, against the backdrop of what's happening in Dublin and around Ireland at the moment in terms of asylum seekers and refugees, it felt very relevant to be bringing people together, to be making something so beautiful.
My name is Adi, and I'm into music full time, and I come from India, which is a different culture.
My name is Babs Leonard, and I am from Dublin, living in Dublin most of my life.
And then I just started working with the children on the children's segment. We had decided that we would do the children's segment, and that really was just a wonderful, wonderful experience, an amazing group of children.
So, for the most part, I did enjoy playing my character in the film, but there was a part where I had to play and I had to be like slightly racist, and that I found that upsetting. And
so I have amazed myself at times of how I've just embraced the chaos and got on with it. It's been, you know, the logistical challenges were many. People like in a lead role sort of saying, oh, I can't make filming on that day. Or, you know, that morning saying, sorry, I'm not going to be there after all. Or turning up hours late after something had been so carefully and detailed, scheduled, timing-wise. So lots of things didn't get filmed that I would love to have been filmed. Details got left out, shelved, forgotten about.
I think the challenges that I mainly had was probably the unstructuredness of everything. I needed to know when things were happening, what we were working towards, and how we were working towards it, and who owns what. And in this space, that didn't really have that clarity. And figuring it out together as a team took a much longer runway than I feel that we needed. Well, we needed a much shorter runway to accomplish the project.
That all come together. The process hasn't always been, it's not a straightforward thing, making a film like this. I think, you know, there are lots of aspects of it that I found really challenging. I think probably the biggest one is just the whole idea of the collaborative, this idea that everybody's opinions and everybody's ideas went into the mix, which is in itself a brilliant idea, and I love that idea. But in reality, I think it probably was then quite difficult to come up with maybe a coherent thread throughout all of the segments, because lots of people were having input into the scripts, and then some of those people left, and I think responsibility in the end fell to a very small number of people to actually see the project through, and there were even parts being written for people right up until the day before filming, and then those people might not turn up. So there were real issues there.
And chain, then he's on the phone to her when Annie comes in.
Yeah, so you're supposed to be on the phone, yeah.
Yeah.
Because you're ringing about the milk. So people got the milk 3 times, that's the main thing you got sent over for. Yeah. You got sent over for milk.
So I was struck by how professional it was. The day that I attended the filming was my kind of first experience, and I was just really struck by that there was a script to read beforehand. Everybody that was there that day, it just felt really polished and professional, and everybody was kind of in it together. It just felt very inclusive. And
I had suggested very early on that I felt it was important that we maybe get to know one another first before we made a film, and that isn't how the process worked. The process was very much set up that we were going to make the short films, and I think the idea was we'd get to know one another through that, and then we'd make the longer films. But we got to know, I guess, one another a little bit in the smaller film groups, because we made them in smaller groups. But I feel the film would have really benefited from us getting to know one another better.
But we still came together, and we still have a product, and we still have something that I think, speaks to some of the broad range of experience.
We should all take off our jackets.
It depends. Do you see it as like him going first and then the 2 lads in the back coming in?
Certain jobs and certain things should be giving out, and there should be more structure group-wise.
A few people that would have been involved in sort of the inner circle of making it happen, there would have been a lot more effort and time and dedication from a smaller group of people.
think everybody who's here and who has stayed, what they want is to be part of something. But we haven't quite figured out yet what that is. But I think that's okay, because that's actually the process.
To the next chapter for us. I know the aspiration is for it to be less chaotic. it remains to be seen whether that will come to pass, but we will give it our best shot.
Elongo toza bomoko makasi na makila.
Don't mind her. Your kids are great. Don't let anyone say otherwise.
What are you gawping at, love? I mean, I'm only calling it like it is. That is what you are, a f***ing foreigner.
Are you sure about that?
Where this is our country. We're born and raised here, our country. Born from the roots, okay?
Ireland is full. No, idiots. Go back to your country. It's easy for you to talk like this, John.
Confused?
What is this really all about?